All right, looks like we're live. I'm here with my frequent sidekick, Artistic Layman.
Hello, everyone.
And let me just make sure it's going out okay on the old YouTubes. And all right, looks okay. So obviously E3 was I guess just wrapped up now. Oh, before I get into that, somebody got me one of the games that was on my Amazon wish list. Luke, you throw that up there. Um, it's Spider-Man 3 on the Game Boy. I've heard bad things about the Spider-Man Game Boy games, but then I watched LJN Defenders videos on the three of them, and while he does defend a lot of crap, um, it's just sort of the gimmick of his channel, really. The way he described it, it did sort of make me think maybe I should give him a shot. So I put the three Spider-Man games on the wish list there for the original Game Boy, and somebody got me the third one, and it's not too bad so far. I hopped into it a little bit. Um, it's not bad for a game of this type on the original Game Boy, that's for sure. So I'll have a review of that when I've plowed through it, at least through most of it. Um, yeah. Thank you to whoever got that for me. Um, all right, so E3. I did not get a chance to watch a ton of E3. I kind of E3 sort of fucking sneaks up on me like every year. I always think I want to do like try and get time off of a day job and actually, you know, do real good live E3 coverage. And it just never happens. Now, right now, I really couldn't have afforded it to anyways. But a lot of times it just sneaks up on me before I get the chance to.
Well, Mr. Baker had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, Medicare does a lot of good live coverage. EA and Bethesda absolutely fucking bombed, from what I understand. Your report card you threw up there, yeah, that's. I did catch. I caught some of Medicare's coverage, and if I ever reach a point where this channel is either a full time or even really part time job, let me put it this way: if I ever reach a point where I don't need a full time day job, maybe this is a part time job and I have another part time job kind of thing, I'll do proper or E3 coverage. I'll get all the nerds I know, drag Undertow out of fucking retirement for that kind of shit. And we'll do proper live E3 coverage. And I'm going to try and do it next year, but I try and do it every year. At the very least, I'm going to try and do the Nintendo shit next year. But anyways, I caught bits and pieces of Medicare's coverage. I know Todd Howard, was it Todd Howard? Yeah, I think it was Todd Howard, said degenerate in one of his things, and just as a passing word, and a lot of leftists freaked out. Mr. Medicare was making fun of this one furry that was all freaking out about it, because degenerates don't like being called degenerates. And just so much of what I saw, I just like the trailer for the new Tomb Raider, and I'm sorry, I despise what Tomb Raider is now. I really do. I loved Tomb Raider when it was new. I loved it. Tomb Raider was like one of my favorite things when it first came out. I got that first game on the PC, and I wasn't getting games a lot at the time. You got to remember, after like the Sega Genesis, like the last game system I was bought was a 32X with Doom for my Sega Genesis because my grandmother got it for me. Because, it's weird. My deeply religious grandmother got me fucking Doom. I mean, just because he's a good boy, get him what he wants. Like she gave my dad the money to buy it. He's like, I heard that game was pretty violent, and my deeply religious grandmother just like, he's a good boy, get him what he wants. But and that was like the last. But my dad would buy me games on the PC a little bit, so I did play the original Tomb Raider when it came out, and I loved it because I had played it at a friend's house beforehand. I loved everything about it. It was Indiana Jones, and I do love that Doom commercial with the fucking preacher. That's classic. But it's Indiana Jones with big tits. It's a hot chick with big tits that's Indiana Jones. It was fantastic. I had one of the action figures. I read a bunch of the Top Cow comics. I remember ordering the one shot, like the first time Laura Croft was in comics. It was a Tomb Raider Witchblade one shot. I remember ordering that from Mile High Comics, ordering it through the mail. This was the Stone Age, folks. But I loved Tomb Raider. And this modern reboot Tomb Raider where it's all grim and gritty and soulless. I don't care. I don't want to see the new movie that came out a little while ago. I played a little bit of the first rebooted game and I just couldn't be bothered to finish it. And I'm looking at the trailer for this new one and it's like, yay, strong independent woman or Uncharted. Fucking fantastic. You know, I don't like it. I miss the fun, flirty, pulpy Indiana Jones style stories with, the blue top and the khaki shorts and just I miss the fun. I miss the fun Tomb Raider. And so yeah, I see the trailer for the new Tomb Raider. I'm like, what else did I see? There was some game, a Hatred 2, I think it was. I was watching the coverage Mr. Mediker did, where it's like some shitty metal band comes out and plays, and then the developers do some bullshit. Go ahead and play the Degenerates bit.
Degenerates.
Oh.
But we're also building toward the game after that.
What did he say?
I gotta find it. Give me a sec.
Okay. Well, anyways, yeah. So.
But we're also game after that.
I don't think it played.
I'm still looking.
Okay. Now I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so I caught a little bit of the different ones. Oh, and I saw there's a Battletoads coming out. That's interesting. Not really enough to make me want to get an Xbox by any stretch of the imagination, but glad to see Microsoft's doing something with that. You buy up Rare and then do nothing with its fucking properties. But the big thing, at least for me, and I didn't catch most of Nintendo's coverage. I'm a second shifter. I'm up super fucking late, and so I'm sleeping in super fucking late. So it's like, I'm out of bed, showered, dressed, and starting my day around 11:30, sometimes 12. So I'm on the second shift schedule. So I come downstairs around 12:30 to check the laptop. I done the Jordan Peterson thing, made my bed, all that kind of stuff, and I'm like, I'm going to check the Discord and YouTube and stuff a little bit before I got to get ready and go to work. And I say, oh shit, Nintendo's doing the fucking thing. Oh, fuck. And I see everyone's already talking about fucking Smash Brothers. And I'm like, oh, well. So I back up and I watch the Smash Brothers thing. I didn't catch anything else of Nintendo's. I know people were disappointed that they didn't do anything more for Metroid 4. They did the little teaser for it last year, just the logo. They should have done something for it since they teased it last year. Even if it's not close to getting ready, some at least behind the scenes, development process footage would have been good. Something. Just something is what they should have done on Metroid 4. I don't even give a fuck about Metroid Prime 4. I'm just saying this is what they should have done. Would have been wise for them to do.
I found the clip.
Go ahead. Degenerates. What's
It's in reference to the mobile app of a game version of Skyrim.
I don't hear nothing.
You never know when you'll need a free hand. To hold your coffee. What do you... Degenerates.
Oh, so that's what everyone's going to fucking crucify him for. Fucking... I bet she's going to apologize or some gayness like that. Anyway, so back to Smash. So I'm looking at the thing okay, so the Smash characters are getting revealed. Okay, we got Mario. Well, no shit. And we got to, punch people in there. I'm seeing oh, Mega Man. Yeah, hell yeah, Mega Man's back. You're my boy, Blue. And then it's when they show Snake, right? I'm like, they brought back Snake. And then it's everyone is here. And I'm like, nah, they really, And then you see like Pichu, which nobody wanted, but he's still here. And then you see like fucking Young Link and stuff like that. And I'm like, fucking A. And then you see Cloud and Ryu and Bayonetta. You see the DLC characters from the last one. And I'm like, oh, they're fucking serious here, man. Yes. And the new ones are the only new ones are the Inkling and then Ridley. And Ridley, everyone's been wanting for a long time. And the Inkling was, I mean, I know the teaser trailer from a couple months ago showed the Inkling, but even before that, the Inkling was almost a given. You know, I mean, it's a brand new popular IP that Nintendo has that would fit very easily in a game like this. Obviously, the Inkling girl was going to be in here. The Inkling boy is in there too, but
they have the Wii Fit model.
They nerfed Samus's titties a little bit. That's a little disappointing. They also nerfed Snake's well-sculpted man ass a little bit, if you're into that kind of thing. You know, I know I got a lot of alt-right listeners. But yeah, that's a little disappointing. But all in all, it's very cool that, you know, everybody is here. And that's because to me, a fighting game, the biggest selling point to me is a wide variety of interesting characters. Like to me, when you're making a fighting game, rule number 1 is put more characters in it. Rule number 2 is put more characters in it. And rule number 3 is when you're certain nobody could possibly want any more characters, maybe add one more. You know, that's the biggest appeal to me. Because you got to understand, I don't give a shit about competitive stuff in fighting games or anything like that. I care about, like, you know, having friends over and having a good time with it. Competitive esports fighting game scene to me is boring at best and cringy at worst.
Oh, they have Lil Mac from Punch Out.
Oh yeah, he was in the last one. One thing I will say that I was a little disappointed. I have wanted Bomberman to be in Smash for a while, right? And he's sort of in this one. He's in it as an assist trophy. So, you know, it's one of those things where, like, assist trophies are characters that you can grab the little thing and then that character will appear and help you. I think, like, in the last one, Shadow was an assist trophy. Like Shadow the Hedgehog, Waluigi's an assist trophy I know of. There's a few Pokemons that are assist trophies. So they just brought Bomberman in as assist trophy. And I kind of, I'm like, you know, why get the rights to Bomberman and only bring him in as an assist trophy? Somebody on Gab responded to me when I made that point and said, the official reason given, or I don't know if it's an official, but the best reason supposedly given is that Bomberman, they wouldn't have been able to make a moveset for him. It's too limiting. And that doesn't ring true to me. That might have been their mindset, but I don't think that's a good line of thinking. For one thing, Bomberman's got hands and feet. He can kick and punch. There's a good portion of your moveset right there. There's power-ups, like there's a skate power-up in Bomberman games. He can manifest skates for faster moving. You know, there's that kangaroo he rides around on sometimes. That could show up in some move. I don't know.
I mean, look at Mr. Game & Watch. He's essentially just a 2D sprite.
Yeah, you can make move. Like, let me put it this way. If like Qbert showed up as an assist trophy at some point, I'd be like, yeah, there's probably not enough to do to make him a playable character. I mean, technically, at least in the original Qbert, I never played any of the sequels, but he doesn't even have any kind of offensive abilities. He's just a head with feet that mumbles funny symbols when he gets hurt. So yeah, I could see, like, you know, if they'd have brought in Qbert as an assist trophy, I'm like, yeah, that can't be a playable character. But Bomberman could have very easily been a playable character. That's a bit disappointing. That said, though, I'm happy to see him there. You know, I'll take what I can get. And you really can't look at this lineup and complain. You know. So, all in all, very, very happy with Smash. I didn't watch the rest of. From what I heard, the rest of Nintendo's E3 was a lot of weeaboo shit. That's what people in my Discord were saying. My Discord, which by the way, I'll throw a link in case you're not in the Discord. Y'all should be in the Discord. It's pretty fun. But the Vidya section of my Discord fucking blew up. When I got home, it was like 400 fucking messages not unread. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna be able to plow through this. One person in there asked me if I would have wanted Simon Belmont in Smash Brothers, and yeah, I would have loved that. See, the thing about a fighting game roster is I'm never one of the guys who looks at a character and says, why is that character there? I'm one of the guys who looks, I'm not mad at who is there. I'm mad at who isn't. Like back in the day when, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, still my favorite fighting game. I remember going through, unlocking all the characters, me and my roommate, and I had played it a couple years before in the arcade a lot, but I couldn't remember all who was in it. And I'm like, I was always taken aback by the fact that Blanca and Vega wasn't in there, especially Blanca. But it's like, I'm not mad that like a shit character like Charlie is there. It's like, yeah, that's nice, Charlie. Happy to have you. Where's Blanca? I'm mad about who isn't in a fighting game. Never mad about who is in there. I never look at a character like, that's stupid. That shouldn't be there. Like I've heard people bitching like, well, bring back Pichu. He sucks. Well, the point is they're bringing back everybody. And I mean, I don't care if he sucks or not. I'd rather have him there than not. And they made Daisy a playable character. I don't think she was ever a playable character, but they made her a playable character now. Can't remember if she was in like Melee or Brawl or whatever or not. I think she was always like an alternate costume for Peach. Oh, and Zelda. When I first saw Zelda, I thought that because it's like it looked like the Twilight Princess dress, but Breath of the Wild Zelda is what I thought it was. But then somebody mentioned no, it's Link Between Worlds Zelda, which I don't know why that didn't click with me, but yeah, I guess that's what it was. But I thought they had gone with like Breath of the Wild Zelda, but like a Twilight Princess dress or something like that. Let's see.
There we go.
Oh, what we got? Oh, yeah, there she is. Yeah, and Link Between Worlds is one of my favorite Zeldas too. So I'm not sure why it didn't click with me that was her. But yeah, when I first watched it, as I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, is this like, did they just decide that Breath of the Wild Zelda's dress wasn't visually appealing enough? And, so yeah, I'm really excited about it. It looks absolutely great. So let me go through the chat. Somebody in the chat says Todd is coming for the furries. Somebody says Gamergate lost. Oh yeah, like The Last of Us 2 isn't that like a lesbian thing or something? I don't know. I think I never gave a shit about the original Last of Us.
Oh, they're capitalizing on the lesbian metaphor again?
I guess. Somebody says I really don't have I really have to say I don't have much hope for newer games, much like newer movies or comics. Admittedly, the last time I went to a local cinema was for Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. Should I believe Todd's lies? Commercial games getting cucked with SJW cancer means more opportunity for indies. Yeah, that's true. So he says Battletoads. Yeah, it was a teaser trailer, but there's a new Battletoads announced for 2019. Problem with indies is they are largely soy boys. This is true. You know who I would have liked to see in Smash, speaking of indies? Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight should have been in fucking Smash. That would have been a perfect addition. There's a lot of civilization going on in The Last of Us Part 2. I thought The Last of Us was a fucking post-apocalyptic zombie world.
Oh, this is where this clip is from. Someone takes this clip and adds a fart sound to it.
Oh, cool.
Let's see. Like, let me see if I can find the right words they're using.
Okay, I have a very serious question. How bad do I smell? Like a hot pile of garbage?
Well, I didn't know they were feminists, too.
Well, in between there, they add a fart sound.
Wasn't The Last of Us the one that where it was like the zombies were like because of a fungus?
I forget.
I think so. I don't know. All these shit fucking cinematic games blur together.
There's lesbianism.
Little HLA. Hot lesbian action.
I guess we cut back to the present, where she's stabbing someone in the neck. Oh, and the gameplay kicks in. All right.
Looks like shit. It's like I'll stick to fucking Smash Brothers. Oh man, I just hate so much of modern gaming. Somebody in the chat says they have done some stuff to appeal to competitive players. I guess. I really don't. I remember, was it Smash Brothers 4 or was it Smash Brothers 3? One of them they put something in there where like characters would randomly trip at parts, like just your character as he's walking, there would be random moments in which they would trip up a little bit and you'd lose about a second. And to me, I like random shit like that in games, in fighting games and competitive games. And I know the competitive scene, it should be based on pure skill. Whatever. Life's got fucking random shit in it. You should be skilled enough to be able to fucking recover when it happens to you. But I like that. It makes things more interesting when I'm just playing with buddies and stuff like that. And whatever. The esports scene, I like I said, I find it boring at best and cringy at worst. Somebody says at least Nintendo Conference was the least paused of the bunch. Yeah, the most you can bitch about at least with Smash, the most you can bitch is that they toned down Samus's titties and Snake's ass. Somebody says Daisy is a first. I thought Daisy was a first.
Smashing at our grouping, for example, since maybe just under one of us have been boring enough to read the manual, our death matches could probably have been faithfully recreated by hurling the controllers down a flight of stairs.
Let's see. Somebody says, I really like the new Zelda design, to be honest. Somebody says, according to previous leak, there's still a couple of newcomers that are still to be announced, like Velmont, KK Rule, and Dixie Kong, for example. Do you mean like Velmont? Like Simon Belmont? Or what's Velmont? I don't know what that is. KK Rule and Dixie Kong would be good. There needs to be a few more Kongs. And I mean, there are like a dozen fucking players from that game. I mean, just the different apes alone. So yeah, we could definitely stand for a few more Kongs. Somebody says she looks like an elf. The Zelda design looks like an elf version of Princess Peach. Kind of does. The Last of Us has a literal lesbian Jew. But yeah, there's tons of Kong characters you could go with. I mean, there's Dixie Kong, obviously, and then there's a bunch of Kong characters that only like appeared once or twice, like Lanky and what was the baby? Tiny, I think, or something like that. No, Tiny. Kitty Kong was the baby. Tiny was another one, and then there's Cranky Kong and Funky Kong. There's a bunch of them. Somebody says in Battletoads, the Dark Queen's dominatrix get up better not be fucked with. I will agree with that. Somebody says, I wonder if it really is a new Battletoads or just a remaster. Well, the trailer makes it sound like the characters are talking about how they're needed again and they're back. So I think it's going to be a sequel. It might be kind of a back to basics sequel. So almost a remaster in that regard. But yeah, holy shit, that is a lot of characters. And I don't even think that's all of them. But yeah, shit, you could throw all those in Smash Brothers and I'd be happy. Bechtloff, look up Death Stranding. I don't know what that is. Was there Medicare's coverage of Nintendo? I didn't see it if he did it. So I don't think Medicare really gives a shit about Nintendo. So I doubt it. He's still clinging to the mainstream AAA. Why I couldn't tell you, but one character they should add to Smash is Simon Belmont from Castlevania. Yeah, I'd be okay with that. I think I'd rather have Shovel Knight though. Looks like I'm caught up to the chat there. So in other more substantive news, looks like Trump's moving along on the Korean peace deals.
Ha 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 ha.
It's very funny watching liberals try and be like, well, how could he talk to such an evil dictator when they used to suck Obama's dick for every attempt at peace deals? And then fucking Ben Shapiro is running his mouth about how this guy is Hitler-like, and we shouldn't be talking to him. Ben Shapiro going full fucking neocon on us again.
Still?
God. Like I mean, I knew he was always like that. I never had any illusions that he changed. I'm just kind of amazed, I guess, that like he's that tone deaf. You know what I mean? he actually thinks that that's gonna fly at all. Fuck Ben Shapiro. Fuck neocons in general. You know, well, on Saturday we were shitting on Charles Krauthammer, and he's got a couple weeks left to live. And you might be like, oh, why would you shit on this guy when he's got one foot in the grave, or one wheel in his case? And you know what, really? Because I debated it for a little while, and I thought, I don't know. I mean, is he really that bad of a guy? And then I read this fucking article he had written where he talked about how he only had so long now, and he was saying his goodbyes. And he actually had the balls at the end to say, I have no regrets. Like, first of all, any man who says he has no regrets has a pretty piss poor memory. But for you to say you have no regrets when you were one of the major voices pushing us into the Iraq war, buddy, fuck you. Fuck you. And fuck all neocons. Neocons don't even get the bullet when the day comes. Neocons just get beat to death with a baseball bat. Bullets are too good for neocons.
Oh yeah, he's on the verge of seeing his version of Sinatra's My Way. Here we are.
Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention.
At least Sinatra had fucking balls. So he says, oh, all of the never Trumpers and the Democrats are shitting themselves attempting to caution our passion, talk sense, and populace weary of the Trump train. They can suck it. That gift just never will get old to me. Everyone is forgetting how the Bush family and people like Ashcroft were selling the Kims nuclear bits and pieces for decades. Let's see. Well, what the hell else was going on?
Oh yeah, earlier today, in combination with having all the Hitler references, I was just lectured on Facebook today about how everything is so horribly like Germany and the Third Reich. Like, do you people not know history? Germany just went through a world war. Where's our world war?
You know, I've now reached a point where like I hear these people do Trump said this, that, and I just look at him and say, you know what? I wish he was the monster you act like he is. Because then your dumb ass would be lined up against the wall and I wouldn't have to listen to you.
You'd be volunteering for the firing squad.
Yeah, shit, yeah. Probably pays better in my current job, so I'd sign up. They might send me home though. I don't know if it would be against the rules to have an erection all day.
Although you might need some medical attention for that.
Have to tuck it into my waistband. Hide it. Neocons and liberals are mad because globalists want war. Globalists always want war. Fucking monsters. Ben Shapiro is a little monster, though. He always was. Vox Day was always right about him. Back in like 10 years ago, Ben Shapiro was like, you know, this rising star in the quote-unquote conservative movement. And he was only like 18 or 19, right? And they just, for some reason, decided he was this huge rising star. And Vox Day always called him the littlest chicken hawk because this was around 02, 03. Because Ben Shapiro was all rah-rah Iraq war, right? And Vox just kept bringing up, well, if you're all about the Iraq war, you're 19, why aren't you enlisting in the army? Somebody says he's a rising David star. Like, yeah, it's funny to watch him like shit on feminists and make fools of them, but it's like, you know, Sargon can make fools of feminists too. What the fuck's your point? You know, I think we've established in these last few years that merely because you can make a blue hair cry doesn't make you cool. Okay, fucking anyone can do that. I mean, shit, Sargon could do that. The only good thing Richard Spencer ever did was break Sargon. All right. Well, I don't really. I'm just about out of fucking shit to talk about tonight. Tell you what, I'm going to open this up to callers. See if we have any callers. If you want to call in, message me on the Skype or message me on Discord. And say you want to call it. Maybe if you got E3 shit you want to talk about. Because like I said, I will try before the Saturday show to watch more of it. I just, like I said, all I caught was bits and pieces here and there. I mean, it doesn't sound like I missed much, but give it a minute. I know there's a delay. Doesn't seem like anybody wants to call in. I might just wrap this up at about a half an hour show then. I mean, I don't want to just sit here and ramble on if I got nothing else to talk about. I really, really wanted to. I didn't want to wait till Saturday to be talking about fucking Smash Brothers because it looked awesome. Oh, okay. Looks like we got somebody. All right. I will send a link. We got somebody else on the Skype. I'll send that person a link too. Let me boom. And Okay, yeah, I know. Dead air. Folks, if you enjoyed, since we have dead air here, I'll fill it up. If you enjoy the show, you enjoy the content I put out, do check out the down below. There's the Streamlabs set up, which I really should be streaming through the Streamlabs, but you could send a super chat that way. I will check real quick to see if anybody did that. There's also the PayPal and a one-time donation, Patreon, become a regular supporter, and there is the Amazon wish list. And any sort of media that's gotten for me off the Amazon wish list, I will do a review of. I got a couple of books off the Amazon wish list recently. I got that game I mentioned. I will have to be doing reviews of them. And I am done with them. And let's see if anybody sent anything on the Streamlabs.
So am I in?
I believe you're in, yes.
Yeah.
On your mind, caller.
I tried watching Sony's and it was so bad. It's like I was. They were all movies. That's what it was.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much where a lot of Sony is right now.
It was like, but it's like the worst. Like that Death Stranding trailer was the worst one. So what it was showing extremely weird cutscenes. Opens with the miracle of birth, and then you just get a bunch of cutscenes. It looks like it could have some interesting stuff going on, but then it shows the gameplay, and it's just these big, wide terrains with nothing going on. You're just supposed to look at things.
I wrote a review back when an article back when Reaction was thing about how, games try too hard to be movies and they just turn into like little interactive movies where you push a button. And I actually got The Last of Us and Beyond Two. What was the game with Ellen Page? Beyond Two Souls.
Beyond Two Souls, yeah.
I got those mixed up in my head and thought Ellen Page was in The Last of Us.
And she almost was.
Because, like, the girl in The Last of Us looks like Ellen Page, and I remembered the shit just blurred together so much in my head, and I was so embarrassed. I wrote this article rambling on about Ellen and mention Ellen Page being in The Last of Us. I felt like a jackass.
Yeah, these movie games do that a lot. They get actual actors playing their characters. Like, Until Dawn, you'd recognize all those people from movies. It's a movie.
Ellen Page, America's annoying little sister.
I find it funny how David Cage was acting like a complete creep around her when he tried hiring her, how he had pictures of her since she was little, and then shortly after the project, she went out as lesbian.
It was the only way to get him to stop calling her.
Pretty much. Oh,
gosh. Dick, what's on your mind? I guess he's not.
Does he have a mic?
I guess he's got mic problems, but yeah, I didn't catch a lot of E3, and every year I'm like, I'm going to do E3 coverage, and I don't.
Yeah, you're not missing out on much. The past 2 years, they didn't have much.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm obviously a Nintendo dork, but from what I'm hearing, it sounds like if you were to call a winner, Nintendo won. Just by not stepping on their own dick.
I feel like the only good game at Sony was a Spider-Man game that you keep saying you like.
Oh yeah, it looks good. But I mean that's not enough of a system seller for me, But
yeah,
I would like to get it. That has been like talked about for a while. That fucking Spider-Man game, and I remember specifically how long we've been talking about it. In that. When I went to the Retro Game Con up in Syracuse in 2016, I remember it was 2016 because it was the weekend before the election. One of the cosplayers was dressed as Spider-Man, but the costume for that game. Because I remember even getting a picture of him because I thought it was kind of cool that, go with an oddball Spider-Man costume when you do up a Spider-Man costume. So, I mean, we had obviously seen pictures of the costume in that game at that point, and that was 2 years ago now. And this game still ain't fucking out.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed. It seems to be taking longer for these games to finish.
Well, it's because you're pouring $1 billion fucking in each one, and then you wonder why then you wonder why you can't make any money at them. It's like, oh gee, we couldn't make any money. We only sold them to a third of fucking America.
I think they mentioned Dreams how many years ago? Like 5. They still haven't even mentioned it at all this year.
They sink these budgets into these games, and then it reaches a point where it's like every game has to sell fucking Madden numbers. Like, as much as everyone shits on the Wii U generation and what a failure it was for Nintendo, people forget that Nintendo was profitable all that time. Because even though they weren't selling a lot of games, they were in the black.
They made actual games.
They made actual games, and they made actual fucking money. Because those games sold a lot given how few Wii U's was sold. That's the interesting thing. There was a really good, I guess, for lack of a better term, audience retention, customer retention when it came to how many people bought a Wii U and then bought the games for it,
The only issue with the Wii U had to be the marketing, because even the name, they shouldn't have named it after the.
Oh, the Wii U, the marketing, there was a lot of failures about it. That said, though, they still made money. They were at a profitable third place compared to Microsoft's and Sony's bleeding money first and second.
I remember having a PS4 during that time, and there was just no good exclusives, and then the Wii U had like 10. So
yeah, it's like, okay, you take, say, Super Mario or Mario 3D World, right? And you say, well, that didn't sell as much as this one game on the PS4, for example, But then you realize, Super Mario 3D World had a moderate budget and made money, whereas this AAA bore fest on the PS4 cost $1 billion to make and never made that back. So, which is the viable model there?
The one making money.
Exactly. The gaming history books will record the Wii U as a failure, and it was a profitable failure. Wow. I'll take those failures all day, every day.
Yeah, now the Switch is powerful enough to play games like Doom. So why even own these other consoles?
There's and then I there was some game, I'm watching Medicare's coverage, and it was some Xbox game. I don't remember what it was, because as with most of these trailers, I don't find them memorable. But then at the end of it, I remember the Xbox exclusive logo pops up, and I found myself laughing, because it's like, no, it's not.
Was it PUBG?
I'm sitting there like, is there any such thing as an Xbox exclusive? Or do all Xbox exclusives eventually find their way to fucking PC at this point?
Only Halo's going to be exclusive. And maybe
so Halo is the only Xbox exclusive.
And Battletoads. That'll be it.
I'll bet you Battletoads finds its way to PC.
Rare Replay is still not on PC.
Cuphead did. Cuphead was the only thing that remotely had my eyes looking towards a fucking Xbox One. And it's like, oh, it's on PC. I'm like, well, at some point I'll get a PC that can play it.
Yeah, 90% of those games are going to be, if they're not on PS4 and Switch, they're going to be on PC.
I don't see any reason to own a fucking PS4, other than that Spider-Man game. And even that, I mean, where Spider-Man was once my favorite fictional thing, I do live in a world where it's hard to look at a Marvel thing and not think soy. Not think one more day. So I can live without that Spider-Man game. There's plenty of old, cool Spider-Man 3D games I can pop in if I really want to really have a Jonesing for that.
Only games I could think of is Bloodborne, if someone's into that. Persona 5, if someone doesn't have a life. Yeah, not much.
I mean, hell, I have 4 games. I have Sonic Mania, which I downloaded, and then of course once I downloaded it, they announced a physical copy with more fucking content. But I have Sonic Mania downloaded onto my Switch. I have I have Breath of the Wild, obviously, which I've been rambling on about. I have Mario Odyssey, and I have Mario plus Rabbids. Mario plus Rabbids and Mario Odyssey are both really, really good so far, but I've barely touched them because I've been banging through Breath of the Wild so much. So just with the games I already have on this Switch, I'm looking at tons more entertainment. You know,
You're already getting a lot of playtime out of it.
yeah, Breath of the Wild has basically given me 6 fucking months of entertainment.
And then
And I haven't even beaten a Divine Beast yet.
And then I'll try playing all these other games on PS4 and I'll get bored very quickly. Maybe that's just me though.
Yeah, I freely admit, like, you know, I like the style of Nintendo games and all, but I don't know. Nothing about the current kind of games I'm seeing really catches my attention.
I think the only issue I had with Nintendo's showing was that I'm kind of tired of playing Smash. Because it's been out since like the 90s.
You know, when Smash 4 was coming out, it kind of, I remember thinking, like, it's hard to believe that there has only been now 5 Smash games, right?
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things that's so constantly prevalent. You know what I mean? It's never, like, Smash Brothers is never not relevant.
It's always going to be there.
Yeah, it's always there. You know, and the only thing that makes a Smash Brothers game no longer matter is a new Smash Brothers game. And it just seems like, wow, that they've managed to have something be for constantly relevant for what, coming up on nearly 2 decades now. And they managed to do that without the constant annual fucking releases of, say, a Madden or an Assassin's Creed or a Call of Duty. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's always
pretty impressive that you release a game and it becomes a game people play constantly for 5 fucking years.
Yeah, it's always going to be entertaining. It's not going away.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not at this point like a system seller for me, but having a Smash Brothers to be able to have friends over and play, hell yeah, that's something that you got to get. It's up there with Mario Kart as like just the perfect having friends over kind of game.
That's another issue I have with these other consoles is most of the games on them, you can't have someone sit next to you with another controller and play a game with you because all the multiplayer is online.
That was something I took notice of in the Battletoads teaser trailer. 3-player couch co-op. They used the phrase couch co-op even.
They have to advertise that as a feature now.
But yeah, I was like, thank you.
So I guess that other color's not here.
His mic wasn't working. Somebody in the chat says, anyone see any reaction videos to the Smash reveal? The autistic screeching shamed me. The only one I watched was Ant Dude's reaction bit. I guess he was live streaming the Nintendo thing, and then he put the Smash part into its own separate video. And I mean, he wasn't really screeching. He was just, you know, he was having a good time. But it didn't strike me as cringy. Somebody says casting couch co-op. That I believe will be the name of the Saturday show this weekend. Thank you, George Calvin. You just gave me the name for my Saturday show this weekend. Casting couch co-op. Because that is just fucking perfect. So he says most of Nintendo games are on their own hardware. Well, yeah, that's... Nintendo has exclusives. Sony and Microsoft really don't.
So Pokemon Go is a main series thing, it looks like.
So yeah, I haven't seen the thing about it. I've heard so fucking much without even having watched it yet. Here's my take on Pokemon Go. Now, this might change when I really sit down and watch it. on Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. So it's basically a watered down version of Gen 1, right? It's halfway between Pokemon Go and an actual Gen 1 game, right? And I've heard a lot of people complaining about it. Well, this isn't a proper Pokemon game. I don't really think it's meant to be. I think Nintendo is attempting, because look, a lot of normies bought the Switch. Okay? The Switch is damn near up there with fucking the Wii in that it sucked in a lot of casuals. Okay? And a lot of those same casuals played the shit out of Pokemon Go last year on their phones. So I think Nintendo's line of thinking here, whether it'll be successful or not, I think their line of thinking is, let's give those Pokemon Go players a bridge between Pokemon Go and an actual Pokemon game. Let's ease them in. I don't believe this is going to be the main Pokemon game on the Switch. I think they are going to do a proper RPG of a Pokemon. I think they so much as said that.
They did say that last year. I was
So
wondering if this was
I don't believe that this is the Pokemon game on the Switch. I believe that this is
It's kind of a foot in the door.
Yeah, this is
normies.
attempting to warm Pokemon Go players up into a proper Pokemon game. Whether that is a good idea, whether it will be successful, I can't say. But I believe that is Nintendo's strategy here. Hey, you like Pokemon Go? Well, here, come over here. We'll go slow and get you into a proper Pokemon game. You know, this is them romancing them a bit before they shove it in. That is what I think they're attempting to do there. I think everybody, like, I have no interest in this Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee. I'm not going to get either one. I have no fucking interest in it. That said, though, I'm not sitting here autistic screeching mad about it. Okay? I'm not even that big of a Pokemon fan, which I know is ironic given my fucking, given that I identify as a Bulbasaur. I'm like, I played Gen 1 back in the day, and I played the newest one, Sun or Moon. I can't even remember which fucking one I got. There's a lot of mid-gen Pokemon things I think look like shit. But I'd love for there to be a proper Pokemon game on the Switch. That'd be fucking fantastic. This isn't it, and I don't think this is even intended to be it. So chill out, guys. You know, I know a lot of you are autistic screeching out there. It's not for you, okay? This is the remedial class trying to get people in line.
Let's see.
I kind of don't care if they kill off the 3DS in favor of the Switch.
Well, I like my 3DS, and I think it does still have some life in it. But that said, yeah, I wouldn't mind. The Switch is probably the future.
It seems like the technology has more room to do things.
Let's see. So he says, "Is Pokemon Go still a thing?" I mean, it is.
Definitely
It's
still a thing. There's a ton of people who still use it.
Yeah, there's still a good fan base for it. It's not the everybody is using it thing it once was.
I've had people months later freaking out when they saw some legendary Pokemon show up in their area. Then they tried gathering raids with people and getting all upset when they couldn't find anyone.
It sucks when you're still into something and the crowd is left.
Yeah.
Like
they're making calls on their phone just to see if anyone's busy.
I will say though, while I didn't really have a smartphone anyways, but I probably wouldn't have been into it anyways. But I liked the idea of Pokemon Go. I liked that it was getting people to go out into the fucking world, wander around. You know, I liked it as a concept. Somebody says the more switches there are, the levels of cuckoldry increases. I'm not sure why that's the case. Let's see. There needs to be that one Pokemon game that has every region that was ever in a mainline game. That would be real, like basically Pokemon World, and just make it really, really huge. That'd be fucking fantastic. Let's see. Somebody says, is Pokemon Nintendo's worst franchise? Somebody says, I don't care for it. It just rides 90s nostalgia and current year autism. It's basic bitch RPG. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I never played it when it was new. First time I played through a Pokemon game was like 02. Like, my girlfriend had her own apartment at the time. I was a senior in high school, but she was a grade ahead of me. And a friend had left a Game Boy with Pokemon Red in there. So, you know, she didn't have cable or nothing. So when I was over and waiting on her to get ready, I just started playing it. And yeah, it's addictive as fuck. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of it, but that's because I'm not a huge RPG fan, period. I'm not a huge fan of like turn-based combat and shit like that. But they're fun. And the designs of Gen 1 Pokemon are awesome. I like the designs, like the character designs of the Gen 1 Pokemon for the most part. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's Nintendo's worst franchise by a wide margin. Frankly, I'd rather play Pokemon than fucking Fire Emblem. I don't give a shit about Fire Emblem. It just looks like generic Animu shit to me. But then again, I really don't give a shit about RPGs generally.
I'm trying to think of a Nintendo franchise that wasn't good. It's been a while.
Yeah, most of them are at least like even ones that I don't like that much, I can respect generally. Like I don't really give a shit about Splatoon, but I can respect Splatoon. It says Nintendo has excellent IP and franchises. Yeah, if you're going to say Pokemon is their worst one, then I think that speaks volumes for the quality of Nintendo. Who says I can't play RPGs anymore? They take too much time for me. Yeah, I can't get into them.
I played a Mario and Luigi game that was pretty bad. I think it was the one where the dreaming one.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of those are not very good. The first one seems to be the one a lot of people seem to like, but other than that. It says, Argent will be sad to hear you don't like Fire Emblem. Bechtloff, he's quite the fan. I don't really know much about it. It just looks like the most generic. I mean, I've never played it, so I can't make a definitive I don't like it. It just, everything I see about it looks like the most generic Animu shit I could possibly imagine. It looks, the character designs look like you just like took them directly out of a how to draw anime characters book. You know, like those how to draw books, how they have the most generic designs in the world. Like that's what it looks like to me. How to draw anime characters, and somebody like just ripped those right out of the thing and like, I made a game. That's what it looks like to me. By the way, wasn't Argent was running his mouth about how he thinks Breath of the Wild is the worst game, is an absolutely awful game, and he has nothing positive to say about it. So I'm gonna have to, with all due respect to my colleague Argent, I'm gonna have to take his opinion with a grain of salt there. Somebody says Mario is Missing is the best Nintendo game of all time.
They really need to remake Hotel Mario.
Hotel Mario is not bad. I mean, the cutscenes are obviously cringe, but the actual gameplay is not bad. I played it emulated one time. It's not great, but it's like it just plays like one of those single screen arcade games from the early 80s, you know what I mean? And if you take it as like that, it's not bad. It's just so weird that what was supposed to be a fucking 5th generation console has a Mario game that plays like a single screen arcade game from the early 80s. Like its gameplay is simpler than the original Mario Brothers. And I'm not saying Super Mario Brothers, I'm saying Mario Brothers. Like where the crabs came out of the pipes and shit like that. It's that level of gameplay. And it's on what was meant to be a bleeding edge 5th generation system in like 94. I'll tell you what though, if Nintendo released those fucking games onto like Virtual Console, they'd sell. People would buy the shit out of them just to be like making YouTube videos and stream and shit like that. And just out of raw curiosity, people would buy those fucking games. I actually think it was a missed opportunity to not put 3D or Virtual Boy games on the 3DS Virtual Console.
I tried one of those. It was painful. That's all I remember.
Yeah, you could probably tweak the 3D to be okay on the 3DS. I never had a problem with the 3D on the 3DS. But I wouldn't mind playing like Mario Clash or the Wario Land game on it.
Aren't all the coloring just red cells or something?
Oh yeah, it's just red. But I mean, I don't mind. I grew up with the original Game Boy when everything was fucking, baby shit green. So red's a step up. So he says the only good Virtual Boy was that Wario game. I don't know. Mario Clash looks pretty decent. It's basically sort of a 2.5D version of the original Mario Brothers, but it looks pretty decent. Also, I heard there was one, like it's a really rare game in North America. I remember in the Angry Video Game Nerd Virtual Boy review, it's like he talks about how it was the only one he didn't have, and then there's like an addition to the video where he says a fan sent it to me, and it's supposedly well liked, but I'm blanking on the name. Somebody says Jack Bros. That might have been what it was, Jack Brothers. Yeah, it's supposedly well liked. Somebody says watch ghetto black people react to Kingdom Hearts. Is Kingdom Hearts like a big thing with ghetto black people? Like I wasn't aware of that. I know like fucking Dragon Ball Z is with ghetto black people. Fucking black and brown nerds. Black and brown nerds fucking love Dragon Ball Z. But I wasn't aware they were all about Kingdom Hearts.
If you mean their fan base, I've definitely seen that.
I did not know that. Yeah, I did not know that was a thing with ghetto black dudes. That's news to me. I remember my roommate when the first Kingdom Hearts game came out, like he got it and he was all excited about it. He was like, because I remember him reading articles about it. He's like, dude, there's this fucking game coming out. And he thought it was going to be like Final Fantasy Tactics in gameplay. I don't know why he thought that, but that's what he thought. And he's like, it's going to be like Final Fantasy characters, but also Disney characters. He's like, so like, and he was convinced Jack Skellington was going to be in it because he was a big Nightmare on Elm Street or Nightmare Before Christmas fan. And I don't know if any of that turned out to be true. But I remember when he finally got it, he was just so disappointed with it. He like played a little bit of it. And he's like, this kind of sucks. I know it has a very passionate fucking following. So whatever.
It took like 10 years for him to come out with a sequel, though.
Let's see. What's the black connection to Kingdom Hearts? I don't know.
I wonder if they just like anime more. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. Somebody in the chat says that's my nigga Bambi and shit. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the fucking connection. Like I said, I don't understand why black and brown nerds love Dragon Ball Z. Like especially fucking brown nerds. I like if they're Hispanic or they're, I don't know, fucking Filipino, then they love Dragon Ball Z. If you're a fucking Hispanic or Filipino nerd, you love Dragon Ball Z. Almost like every time. Like a reviewer I like is Some Call Me Johnny. And I mean, I have to like, turn away from his channel when he gets caught in a fucking Dragon Ball Z marathon periodically. But yeah, I'm just like, whatever, I don't care. I mean, none of these animes are as good as Cory in the House. Seriously, though, here's one of the big reasons I have a sour taste on anime in general. Because the two most popular animes in the United States of America, as far as I know, are Dragon Ball Z and Naruto. And Dragon Ball Z is shit. And Naruto makes Dragon Ball Z look like fucking Shakespeare. All right. Naruto is absolute pure fucking garbage. Somebody says, I'm Hispanic and I don't care for Dragon Ball Z, but most of the Hispanics I know love Dragon Ball Z. Somebody says, it's an Hispanic thing you wouldn't understand. Somebody says, watching my mom go Super Saiyan. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get the fucking love of Dragon Ball Z. One day I want to do a Goku versus Superman video, just trolling Dragon Ball Z fans, where I don't know, say like Superman wins because Goku didn't even show up. He was too busy sucking cock at the glory hole. Fuck you. Or how about in all seriousness, I just do one where it's like, Superman wins because he went and punched Goku in the nuts while he was taking 50 episodes to charge up.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Apparently, the Rick and Morty creator has a game coming out.
Is it about cuckold pornography? Because he's apparently big on that.
Oh no, that's Dan Harmon. No, it's Justin Roiland, the one that just makes all the poop jokes. That's pretty much all it is.
Isn't Justin the one that does all the voices?
He does all the voices. He does most of the jokes. That's his job.
What the fuck does Dan Harmon do?
He makes sure the story is structured properly. Okay. And apparently he hires the wrong people to do it.
So Justin is the reason everyone likes Rick and Morty, and Dan Harmon is Justin's friend. That's what I take away from this.
No, I'd say they're both pretty important. Just Justin makes it entertaining, and Harmon gives it an actual structure, so he's watchable.
I love the improv of like they animated it, but it just started with him just like impromptu deciding to read the there's this court there's this court case where this guy was telling the judge to fuck off and tell him to suck his dick, and Justin went into the recording thing and took the what do you call that, the not synopsis, the not script. Transcript. Thank you. I was blanking on the word. He took the transcript of it and decided to read it in Rick and Morty voices, right? And it's fucking hilarious because first of all, the transcript alone is hilarious, and then him doing it in the Rick and Morty voices is fucking hilarious. And then they decided to animate it because it was too fucking funny. But that's the thing. Justin's fucking hilarious. He's a hell of a voice actor.
You know all those those televised,
the interdimensional cable.
Yeah, interdimensional cable. Half those episodes was Harmon would make the B plot, and then that would be what they do with all the other episodes. But the main stuff where Rick and Morty are just watching the television, that was all just Justin Roiland sitting inside the recording booth drunk and saying whatever it is he felt like saying at the time.
I like when it bleeds through how much it's like improv. Like there's one where it's like it's man versus car, and here we have it goes through the big rank of what an awesome fighter this guy is. It's like versus a regular old car. And then at the end, like the one announcer just starts laughing, go, "Wouldn't the car always win?"
Yeah, and you hear him break into laughter when he's in the middle of saying things.
Wouldn't the car always win? Yeah, there it is. Man versus car. Oh, the car's undefeated. Wouldn't the car always win?
I mean, wouldn't the cars always win?
Exactly.
I don't think I've ever noticed that.
Like he does that so randomly where it just like he just breaks the fourth wall just a touch. Yeah, I like Rick and Morty is here's the thing. I'm kind of mixed feelings about season 4 getting greenlit. Because on the one hand, when I first heard that it wasn't getting greenlit, I was like, you know what? It was probably just going to be steadily going downhill. And then obviously there's the shit show of the fans. Like, let it die with some dignity. But at the same time, season 3 wasn't very good compared to season 1 and 2. But you know what? It was still entertaining. Season 3 isn't the kind of thing where I would watch it over and over again like season 1 and 2. But I still watched them and enjoyed them.
I'd say run the show into the ground until it's not watchable anymore. Because at least we can still at least enjoy the seasons until that eventually happens.
So he says the problem with Justin Rowland is you need someone to handle his autism getting too far.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah, definitely. Like, if you look at his stuff on Channel 101, it's mostly just him making random poop jokes, and they're just not well told. So you kind of need Dan Harmon to fix that up.
I'll tell you what, though. Nothing can be as bad as Tim and Eric. Everything I've ever seen Tim and Eric do, in my opinion, is pure shit. The only thing they ever did that was ever any good was that Tom Goes to the Mayor thing on Adult Swim. And that, the best you could say is some of those episodes were okay. That's the best I could say about it. Tim and Eric, I like, they're so offensively bad, I wish to harm them when I see them on screen. Like, it doesn't make me laugh, it makes me like get angry. Like, I'm like, why are these faggots on my television?
Is that them?
Yeah.
They look like they're trying too hard to be pathetic.
They
I
are
don't know.
fucking terrible. They had something after the Tom Goes to the Mayor, they had something called Tim and Eric Awesome Show, Good Job. And it was pure fucking shite. Like, and it just like you just want to punch him. It doesn't make me laugh. It's just like I just wish to harm them. It's such a weird emotion. I normally don't get that kind of feeling, but I'm just like I just want to hurt you. I want to cause you unimaginable amounts of pain.
There's something kind of off with these two.
Yeah, like this isn't funny. I want to hurt you. I want you to no longer be.
Yeah, they just look punchable.
Like you look like if a pile of soy got AIDS.
Wait, one of them was responsible for Sam Hyde show being taken down?
That doesn't surprise me. Like I Tim and Eric are why there is a hell. Okay, that's why. Like it says, God created for the devil and his angels, but it also was originally supposed to say and Tim and Eric. But the writer of the scripture didn't know what that was, and he's like, I must have misheard the Holy Spirit. Who the fuck's Tim and Eric? I'm just gonna like just forget that. Like, But that was originally what the Holy Spirit said. The God created hell for the devil and his angels and Tim and Eric.
I mean, in their defense, Sam Hyde is responsible for so many shootings. Why are we giving him a show? Why are we glorifying this?
Sam Hyde could get away with it at this point. Like, he's been accused of it so many times that there's no way a lawyer worth his salt couldn't bring up reasonable doubt. You would need to have this motherfucker on camera shooting someone to convict him. Like, Sam Hyde can murder a person and get away with it at this point. That is something that man can do. I don't know how he doesn't just do it. If I woke up one day and realized, Bechtloff, you can murder someone and get away with it, I'm probably going to do it. Like, God in heaven forgive me. Like, yeah, that's not power I can be trusted with. I freely admit it. I'm going to kill somebody. I've got a fucking list of potential candidates, too. There's no way a lawyer worth his salt can't argue reasonable doubt. Your Honor, this is clearly an internet prank. Look how many times this has been brought up. Why are you wasting my client's time taking this seriously?
Look how many times he's appeared on the news and it turned out to be nothing.
Oh, man.
What is Sam Hyde doing right now anyways? Didn't he delete all his YouTube videos?
I don't know what he's doing.
I thought Arini said that at one point. Or someone did, I don't know.
That fucking video where he's that really famous video where he's giving the TED talk is just fucking fantastic. I'll go back and rewatch that sometimes.
Probably one of the only good TED talks in a while.
There's one. I can't remember what it is. I can't remember the name of it, but this guy comes out and he says, "I'm a thought leader. You know I'm a thought leader because I do this with my hands." And he goes through the motions of how people bullshit their way through TED Talks, right?
So Sam Hyde's not the only one who did this.
Oh, dude, if I could find it. I don't know if I can find it or not, but I'll have Luke fucking play it.
Thought leader.
There, Luke found it. God, Luke, you're awesome.
I'm wearing a blazer, I have glasses, and I've just done this with my hands. I'll now walk over to my laptop. By doing so, I'm demonstrating to you that as a thought leader, I understand technology and that there will be slides. Because
that video right there is brilliance. That, like, it's funny, but it's funny in a way where you're not even really laughing. It's the kind of funny where you just sort of nod your head like, yeah, you're onto something, aren't you? Like, it's so good. I highly recommend watching that.
Although I think this is a CBC radio skit. So that, I mean, I'm finding this on CBC Comedy.
Oh, I thought he actually did that at a TED Talk or something.
But it's a good rundown of every TED Talk I've ever seen. So,
oh, it's so perfect. Like, just how people bullshit their way through that stuff. This is that talks, yeah.
That a presentation seems more legitimate than it actually is if there are slides.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Oh man, it's yeah, that thing is amazing. Let's see. All right. Well, I'm probably going to go ahead and wrap this up then. All right, folks. If you enjoy the show, do check out the the tip jars down below. I'm going to take one real quick look, see if anybody hit the Streamlabs thing, and let's see. I got to start trying to stream through this. That might be why. Maybe no one can. I don't even know if it fucking works without streaming through it. We'll see. But if you want to support the show, there's obviously the PayPal, the Patreon, Amazon wishlist, all that good stuff. And yeah, that's all we got for tonight, folks. Thanks for listening. Bechtloff out.